Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's only me again, and yep, you've probably guessed it, we're out doing some more metal detecting. So today we're in a big pasture field. I'm out with Brian and the infamous Mr Tweed. Brian, you'll probably remember from a previous video of mine. He's invited us onto one of his fields that he's been doing recently, and he's had some really good luck in this field, some absolutely cracking condition hammered coins. We've come here today to try and replicate that luck, so hopefully we get some good stuff, guys. As soon as we do, you will see it first, and that leads me to say thanks very much for watching. If you do like the videos and you want to support what I do, then please consider subscribing below. It's just one button, completely free. And if you like the permission and you want to see us come back, hit a thumbs up as well. So that's it, that's the talking out of the way. Let's get digging, guys. I will see you all on the first hole. Okay, so just had my very first target today in this windy field. It's a bit misleading because the sky's nice and blue and the sun's out, but yeah, it's windy and that wind is really cold. But anyway, yeah, first find today, and it appears to be a button. Now at first I thought this was a coin, but unfortunately it is a button, because when I gave it a little bit of a clean, I turned it over and I saw that trademark kind of little dimple on the back in the middle, right where the old shank would have been. So I thought it was a coin, guys, but unfortunately it is just a button. But nevertheless, we've got to push on and see what else we get. It's only the first one, but yeah, let's keep going. Typically, guys, all that digging and all we've got is a relatively modern piece of metal. Looks like part of an old fence or something like that. Well, nothing good, but it's still early days. Let's push on, see what else we can get. Oh wow. So I don't really know what this find is at the moment, but my goodness, it looks pretty interesting. So first impressions, it's copper alloy. It's in a kind of S shape, so maybe it's part of a buckle or something, but it's got like a kind of bird's head to it. So it's zoomorphic. Zoomorphic being the name given to something that represents an animal or looks like an animal. And this surely does look like an animal. Now, what I can see, unfortunately, is that it was broke on this bottom end here. So it would have actually have been something much larger, and maybe it would have continued sort of going around, which makes me think that it's possibly was a buckle, or maybe a sword hanger or something like that. But wow, what a really interesting little find. I've never really found anything like that. I've never found anything zoomorphic with that kind of really cool detail in there. And yeah, I am super chuffed with that. Potentially that could have some age to it. Now, judging by the things that Brian finds in these fields, they sort of range from, you know, early medieval up to kind of modern day, really. So yeah, this certainly could be of medieval date for sure. But I'm going to have to try and get a positive ID on that, guys. Let me know what type of animal you think it looks like. I think it definitely looks like some type of bird, maybe like a kind of heron or something like that. But wow, super chuffed with that for the third signal. If that's anything to go by, then today's going to be absolutely fantastic. Okay, so I think we've actually gone and found another really cool little find here, guys. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't think this is anything sort of zoomorphic or anything like that that cool last kind of buckle thing that we had, but this one looks pretty old as well. It's obviously copper alloy, so bronze, and it's very, very, very tarnished, but I tell you what this really does remind me of, or looks like. It looks like the barrel of possibly a small cannon, like a toy cannon maybe, but it could also be the barrel of a pistol, maybe from, you know, the 18th century, firing small little lead pellets. I think it's definitely something like that. It's just got that kind of look to it. It's substantial enough, the barrel's thick enough to withstand, you know, decent fire. So yeah, I'm actually really chuffed with that. As I say, I'm not really too sure. I don't know enough about sort of weapons from this moment in time to be able to sort of tell you that for sure, but you've got to admit that really does look like some sort of barrel, doesn't it? So again, if anyone out there can help me identify that, then please do. But so far, pretty chuffed with what we're getting from this field today. So let's push on. Okay, so I've had another find at the bottom of the field, right next to this electric fence, which is causing my detector to go absolutely crazy. But this find definitely rung out really loud over the top of that, which was good. And at first I thought this was just one of those big buttons, but I cleaned it off. I've given it a good old clean now, and there's definitely some really interesting detail on this. And I still can't tell whether or not this was once a coin, whether this was some type of jeton, maybe some type of medal. I'm not overly sure. But you can definitely see that it's not your standard sort of typical Britannia coin. It doesn't have Britannia seated. Certainly doesn't have a monarch's head anywhere to be seen. And there's just some really interesting, distinct lines. You can make out some writing, but it's difficult to actually see what the writing means. And to be honest, it's got just some really, really interesting detail on there. So there's a high probability that this is, you know, possibly quite a few years old, and certainly, you know, of some sort of historical importance, because this could be like a foreign coin or an imported coin or some type of trade weight or gaming piece or something like that. But it's very, very unusual. I couldn't really tell you how old it is. I couldn't tell you where it came from, what it was used for, but pretty chuffed to find it for sure. Yeah, it's actually quite a nice little target, this one. And again, guys, if anybody out there can help me identify it, then I would be eternally grateful, because I'd love to know what it is and what we're finding. But yeah, how cool. Okay, so as you can see, we've moved into a different field. Basically, as we were driving to the field that we originally went to this morning, we noticed that some of the ploughed fields that we'd spotted a few weeks ago had recently been cultivated. So they'd basically been sort of turned and squashed, and they were perfect for detecting. And we all actually kind of stopped and went, oh, what should we do? Should we go to the field that we'd all planned to do, or should we just stop and do these ploughed fields? So we kind of decided that we'd do half the day in that first field, and then the second half of the day we'd come in and do these ploughed fields. Hence why we're in a ploughed field. So again, we've had plenty of finds from these fields, lots of hammered coins, buttons and buckles and things like that. And we are the first people to come on this field since it's been ploughed, and it's had a really, really deep plough this year as well. So fingers crossed, guys, we're going to get some good stuff. I've just had a target down here. It's my very first one in this ploughed field. Unfortunately, it's just a piece of lead. It's, yeah, just looks like a scrap piece of lead, so it's not even like a pot mend or anything like that. But, you know, it's the first target. We've got obviously a huge amount of field to do, all freshly ploughed, so it should be really, really nice, easy digging as well. So stay tuned, guys. Hopefully we get some good stuff. Of course, as soon as we do, I'll show you straight away. Okay, guys, just seen Mr Tweed in the field. You've been down the bottom there, haven't you? Yeah,
I've been down the bottom end, coming up and down it, dead as a dodo.
Quiet, isn't it, yeah, in this ploughed field? Yeah.
But there's still the old signal. Don't know what you've had up here, but I've had a couple of musket balls down there, and a Capri Sun packet, and ring pull, and a little bit of crap.
Roman Capri Sun.
Yeah.
Anything good though?
Well, yeah, I just found this funky little number.
Okay.
I'm not too sure what it is. I think, yeah, it's sort of glass in the middle. It's a shame the sun's just gone in, because it was shining a lovely yellow colour a minute ago.
Wow. Yeah.
And as you can see, it's domed and it's hollow, and it looks like it was gold gilt, decorative on the underneath. So
it's like a little. It looks Georgian, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
for sure. It's very kind of Georgian-esque. It's just got that sort of look to it, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
What a lovely little find though. It's got,
yeah,
was it glass inside?
I think so, yeah. The sun's up there now. It's coming out again. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but he shines a lovely deep yellow colour.
That's beautiful.
And with all the gold gilting on back in the day, that, you know, if that was a ring or something, that would have sat high and proud and looked the dog's. So.
Do you think that is a ring?
I honestly don't have a clue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very typical of like a Georgian bling ring, isn't it? They did love wearing the super like profanities of jewellery. It was over the top, overkill, super shiny, and just always over the top, those Georgians, I tell you.
To go over the top clothes as well.
Super peacock style jewellery, I think. Yeah. Totally. But mate, that's a really cool little find, isn't it? I like that.
Definitely. It's my best find of the day. So yeah, I'm pleased with that for now. And
yeah.
Unfortunately, I couldn't find if it is a ring, I couldn't find the other part of it. But who knows? There might be some more stuff on that ridge down there. So.
So, we've been in this ploughed field now for probably about an hour. I can't speak for the other two because they've been opposite ends of this field, but it's been a really, really quiet field for me. I haven't had many signals at all. A couple of scrap pieces of lead, which didn't really film because I'm sure you guys have seen a scrap piece of lead before, but I have just had my first relatively decent signal towards the top of the field. I thought it might have been something quite significant, but actually it just looks like it's a button. But it does look like a relatively old button. Seems to have some type of motif on the front, maybe like a star or possibly like a flower or something like that. But yeah, it's just a button, guys. But it certainly was nice to hear that type of signal after it being so quiet for so long. As I say, it is quite windy today, so it's difficult hearing the targets anyway because it just rushes past the headphones. But it's a lovely day to be out. I mean, wind, you know, is not a factor when you're under the sun and you're in a lovely ploughed field which has just been cultivated. You can't really ask for more, well, other than some nice targets. But hopefully those will come, guys. Hopefully those will come. Okay, so I've had another target here in the lower ploughed field, and I must admit, at first impressions, I really thought that this was absolutely nothing at all, and it wasn't until I cleaned this off that I realised that it had some sort of shape to it. So don't get me wrong, this is no precious metal or anything like that, but it's made of lead basically. And when I saw it poking out of the ground, I just thought, I didn't even think that it was the target. It actually looked a little bit like a stone. But when I cleaned it off, I kind of noticed that it had this conical type shape to it, and it reminded me a little bit like the tip of somebody's finger. And it's got some interesting markings on it. It might possibly have been holed, so there might be a continual hole that runs all the way through the middle of this, in which case this could obviously be some type of weight, maybe a loom weight or something like that. But yeah, that's very much speculation at the moment. As far as it goes at the moment, it's just a piece of lead, but it's an old piece of lead because it's white and it's very oxidized. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's better than finding nothing at all, but we'd like to know obviously what it was used for, because it's definitely been shaped for some reason. So yeah, there we are guys, just a piece of lead, but let's crack on and see what else comes out. Hi guys, so just with Brian, had a catch up with Brian. Brian has been just blasting out these fields all day, haven't you? You've been wandering in between another field. We were up the top there, and I saw you go into that next field, and then I spoke to Sam and I said, oh, he's in there, and Sam went, no, he went back down that way. I didn't even see you.
I don't
you were like Sonic the Hedgehog, mate.
I don't wait around.
Didn't even see you. But yeah, we've been in these ploughed fields, and it'll be interesting to see what you've had today. So let's have a look, mate.
If you hold the pot, mate.
I'll hold the pot.
I think I got another one. That one I showed you, which we thought was a jetton.
Yeah, you just dropped something there.
I think it was that.
There you go.
That fake hammered that I thought I found.
Fake hammered, yeah. Yeah, so that looks most definitely like a jetton for sure, and that's probably 14th century. If you ever see a fleur de lis, you know, like that 3-petaled thing,
The French.
it will always be French, yeah. But I can't see one on yours, so it potentially could be an English jetton, which are actually quite rare.
Same number, but say I haven't got my glasses on. I didn't know if it was the same.
Oh yeah, I mean it could very well be.
It's beat up again, probably due to the plough.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
exactly same number, exactly same field.
It's also the fertilisers, you know, when they spray the fertilisers,
Right.
that stuff eats metal.
Right.
So if anything's on the top and it's getting sprayed with fertilisers, they end up looking like this. Yeah, everything just gets corroded and eaten. But that potentially could be another jetton as well.
Yeah, well, it come up with the same number. Exactly same number. Is that a bag seal? I found that just a minute ago.
Yeah, that absolutely is a bag seal fragment. It's got a H and a W. So, yeah, that's really nice. I like that. Oh wow.
That one's on the top. I mean, all of this is coming off the top. I'm struggling with this ploughed field. Let's say 2 inches at the most. I'm getting signals until it's road or...
Stunning, that is. So that's late 1500s?
No.
Into very early 1600s buckle, for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And then your normal, there's one button. I think there's another button.
Oh yeah, pewter button. Oh, I like that one. That's posh. That would have come off of a nice big tunic or something, that one.
Another button.
Oh wow, yeah. There's a bane of my life, pewter buttons. Because every time I find a pewter button, I go, oh, that sounds like good. And then...
That's one of those tiny ones. I think you found one the other day, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's off like a little dress, isn't it? Like a little dress button.
That, I don't know if that was the end of a pot leg. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, it's quite interesting, isn't it? Maybe a handle to something.
Yeah, I'm not...
Maybe it went that way round instead. Well, that's really interesting.
No idea what that is. And I don't know what that is. It's some sort of...
Oh, yeah. Could be off a dog's collar, that. Isn't it? Like a little name...
No idea what it is.
Name plate or something like that.
and a bit of horse brass. Another button.
Yeah, another pewter button.
I think finding a day for. Oh, it's another button. I think finding a day for me. I think which you identified. Try not to lose it again.
Yes, that stunning little acorn harness decoration. So these were very, very dateable to the sort of late 1300s. And basically these were pattern made. Well, I say pattern made, they weren't machine made, but they were like the fashion. So potentially you could buy these at a market or something like that, and then you could have them fitted to your leather strap. And at one stage that would have been obviously really super, super shiny. And yeah, for some reason during the late 1300s, it was fashionable to have an acorn on your strap. And you get them in all sorts of sizes. Like I've actually got one of these at home, and it's a little bit bigger, and you get them smaller, and you also get them thinner and elongated as well.
Right.
So they were obviously changing over time. I reckon they probably started big, and then they slowly got this size, and then they went elongated, and then they probably went out of fashion, and something else took it over. But that, yeah, that's a lovely little find. I do like that, mate.
I think
Stunning.
the rest are all buttons again, just all. Also, oh, and one
Oh yeah,
toasted coin.
Toasted coin, yeah. Well, that could be anything, couldn't it? It could be 1800s, 1700s.
That one got me going.
Yeah. That's the other thing with pewter buttons is they shine as well, like silver coins, don't
Especially when
they?
they're that way up.
Yeah.
It's
They're buggers, aren't they? Absolutely buggers.
not a bad day, really. It's
Yeah.
no hammered, but
No hammered. I mean, do you know what? I always say, if you go out looking for hammered, you're going to get disappointed.
yeah.
If you go out just to enjoy metal detecting, enjoy the day, and you find a hammered, you like win-win, don't
It's a
you?
bonus, isn't it?
Because you've actually had a great day out and you've found a hammered. And I think a lot of people go out looking for hammereds now. And I know they're nice, but if you found a hammered every time you went out, you'd get bored of finding them.
Yeah.
I don't think you would, would you? No,
me, mate.
fair enough,
Not me.
yeah. Okay, so we're just going over to see Mr Tweed, who's had something quite interesting, have you?
Well, yeah, I think it's interesting.
Wow. So
I would introduce it, but God knows what it actually is. We think it might be a book clasp or like a strap end there. It looks like there's something leather or some organic material inside. Is that focusing all right? Can you see that?
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
great.
yeah.
And as I spin it around, you'll see the sort of the rivets are very similar to that spatula I had a few weeks ago, that scraper or whatever it was. So I reckon it's definitely medieval.
How cool! Yeah, it almost looks
least.
like a scraper that end actually, doesn't it? Like
Yes.
like a really rudimental like comb or something.
Yeah, it's.
And then the
Yeah.
other end's got the little hook on it, is it?
Yeah, a little hook on that end. But obviously there's the lumps decoration
Yeah.
going up. Any ideas, folks? What that could be? You know, ideas on the
it's-
postcard.
Definitely like a book clasp or something, that is, isn't it? But we could be entirely wrong. I'm pretty sure somebody out there is going to know what that is for sure. But potentially that's a really cool little medieval find, that one.
Yes, yeah, definitely. It's
Have you had anything
put
else?
a bit. Well, other than that, whatever that is, again,
Oh, I
possibly
love that,
Georgian
yeah. Little-
fob seal or ring or something.
Yeah.
I had a little fragment of something. Again, no decoration or anything on it, really, to tell what it is. But yeah. Then I've had these two nice, well, I say nice coins. Could barely tell what they are, but I'm pretty sure this one is a Charles coin. You can just about see the head on that. If I spray it,
Can definitely see something, yeah.
I don't know if that makes it better or worse, but yeah. So and there's not really anything on this. Well, you can just about make out Britannia actually on that side, which is it's nice. You don't often see Charles copper coins come out in relative condition. Then I've got this coin. I don't know if I showed you that earlier. There's a head on there, but I don't recognise it. Don't know if you can make that out at all. I can barely make it out. But
I think Brian found something very similar to that.
did he?
Yeah.
Right, okay,
Very,
yeah.
very similar to that. It was the same
Nothing like that
size, and it had almost like a sort of strange type bust on it as well. But it wouldn't surprise me if it was a
Yeah,
foreign coin, you know?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he's just off centre and he's looking this way. Yeah.
And there we are. We're at the end of another fantastic day's metal detecting. It's been an absolutely glorious day today with two great guys on a great permission. As I said to Sam earlier, I think these fields that we're doing are going to be so much better once they've been compacted down and they've been drilled and rolled down nicely. I think we're going to find loads and loads more stuff in them. This is only one of very few fields that are getting ploughed around here. So eventually there's going to be about 10 or 12 fields that are all ploughed, and they've all been very productive fields in the past. So hopefully, guys, we're going to get some more goodies out of these fields before they're actually cultivated and drilled, because obviously once everything starts growing in them, then we can't do any detecting on them. So we've got a very limited time scale to kind of get in and do it, but we've got a few guys here that are very willing to do it, and hopefully everything that does come out, you guys are obviously going to see on the videos as well. So that leaves me to say thank you very much for watching my videos. And guys, if you haven't subscribed and you've watched this far into this video, you might as well subscribe, because there's going to be tons more videos like this, maybe even better, with better finds on better permissions. So if you like metal detecting videos and you like history and you like seeing what people pull out of the ground, hit subscribe below, because you're definitely in the right place. And again, if you do like what I do and you want to support me, then give me a thumbs up as well. That means a lot. But guys, that's enough today. I've got to shoot off home, get something to eat. It's been cold but a wonderful day, and I will see you all on the very next video.